Hey, you guys, this is Roger from Grass Monkey Simulations, and I hope you're doing very well today. I'm going to go over the setup for the Puck and the Odyssey, and hopefully I'll cover everything, maybe cover some frequently asked questions if I can remember them all. But the instructions will be the same for whether it's the Puck or the Odyssey. There's no difference in them. They both function exactly the same. They're styled different. The Puck has a twist-on battery cover, and the Odyssey has a snap-on lid. You'll get everything you need to mount it to either your headphones or to a headband. I typically only use my headphones at night when I don't want to disturb anyone. Comes right off. And then during the day, I typically use the headband. So you do have options, and you can mount it any way you want. Along with the Puck and the headband, you'll get your camera if you buy the bundle that includes the camera. We also sell the Puck and the Odyssey without the camera for those of you who've already owned or have already modified a camera yourself. But you'll also get a mount for your camera, and it's just that simple. You slip the camera in, and then it goes on your monitor. Get an available USB port. I got my Puck in the mail. And now I need the drivers, so we'll hit the download button. And then here we have the PS3 drivers. We'll download that. On your install guide, you can either left click it and then go up here into the right corner and download into your downloads folder. Or you can just right click it, choose save link as, and you can put that in your downloads folder. Now we're going to need the OpenTrack software. So we'll go here, we'll get the latest version. There it goes. Just had to wait a moment. All right, that's downloaded. I really got my heart set on playing American Truck Simulator. So let's grab that. Let's grab a profile for that so that I don't have to do anything myself. I can just put this in the folder, and I won't have to do any programming or mapping or editing once I get OpenTrack installed. All right. So we've got everything we need. We're going to go to our download folder, and the first thing I'm going to want to install is the drivers. We'll just click next, agree. I've already got the drivers installed, so it's removing the drivers and it's reinstalling them. Okay, we'll click finish. The icon for CLI test. So we'll open that up. I have several cameras here. I've got CamLink 4K. That's what you're looking at me on. I've got my Nikon webcam utility, my OBS virtual camera, etc. So we want to select the PS3i camera. That's all we're interested in. All right, so we have PS3i chosen. You can see that. Let's go to our video capture filter under options. We want to uncheck all these boxes. Your gain should be all the way to the left. Exposure should be all the way to the right. our white balance, every slider should be all the way to the right and no boxes checked. They're all unchecked. We'll click apply, we'll click OK, and we're done. If we turn this on right now, you can see your lights. Now let's close this. This has to be closed. This is the number one mistake that people make, is they install CLI test and then they start OpenTrack and it won't work. So we'll close that. We're done. You don't need that anymore. Now let's go to our OpenTrack that we downloaded. We'll double click. Say yes, accept the agreement, click next, next. We want a desktop shortcut, yes please, and install. Okay, we're going to go ahead and launch OpenTrack. So I'll leave that checked and click finish. All right, now because I already had OpenTrack installed, it went directly to the ATS profile instead of, because you won't have these. When you install OpenTrack, the only profile that you will have will be the default.ini. Let's go to the default, and this is what you can expect until you either customize your own profile or download one from the website. So we want to make sure that it says Point Tracker 1.1 under input. Make sure it says FreeTrack 2.0 enhanced under output, and make sure that the filter is Excella. And this is what you're going to use for almost 100% of the games you play, with the exception of FSX. FSX, you would come to your output and change it from FreeTrack 2.0 enhanced to Microsoft FSX SimConnect is what you would use for FSX. But Point Tracker 1.1 and Excella will stay the same. All right, well, we're going to check our settings. There's a little hammer next to your Point Tracker 1.1. Just click on that little hammer. Your camera should say PS3 camera. We don't want any of those other ones. Width should be 640, height should be 480, FPS should be 60, diagonal field of view 56. Don't click this box because that's just for caps only. Dynamic pose timeouts 250. I'm sure that doesn't matter since we're not using a cap. Color channels used will be natural. I don't have any exterior light interference. I can turn all the lights I want in this room. It's not going to affect my camera. But sunlight, if your camera that you're using is in direct line of sight of a window, you can get some interference. Let's say you've got a window that's your camera's looking right at it. This is your threshold slider. This is how you adjust out if you get too many dots, and I'll explain that in a little bit. We'll come back to that. I run mine at 40 because I don't have any exterior light coming in, because the sun produces infrared light. Our camera is specially modified to see infrared light. Your min value is 2.0, your max value is 20.0. Let's go to our camera settings, click open, and nothing's changed from when we set it up in CLI test, so we can just close that. Gain is full left, exposure is full right, red, green, and blue is full right. So we'll click OK. I'm going to leave this at 40, and I'll just click start. And there we go. I turn on the head tracker. Now on my camera placement, as you can see, my camera's a little bit off. The light should be right there. You want it in the middle. And what you do is when you mount your camera, You don't put it in the middle of the monitor. You mount the camera on the same side of the monitor that your head tracker is on. And then you aim the camera up or down, left or right. You want to aim it directly at your head tracker. And on your head tracker, you want to aim it directly at the camera. Now, as you can see, when I turn my head, I don't have a lot of head movement. The octopus isn't moving very much. I look up, I look down. That's because we're using the default profile. We haven't added any custom profiles yet. And the default profile is awesome for racing, because the only thing you're interested in racing is you're wanting to see, catch the apex of your turn. You want to check your mirrors. You're not going to be looking in the back seat, looking at the roof. You just don't do that when you're racing. If you're sightseeing, that's one thing. If you're racing, you're looking as far down the road as you can all the time, and you're hunting that apex to get your turn just right. Okay, let's stop this. And I want to play American Truck Simulator. So I'm going to need more left to right movement than this. We'll go back to our downloads folder. I'm going to unzip. Let's see if we can do it this way. Can I copy that? Yeah, copy files to clipboard. Okay, you can do it that way, or we could just extract it right here. The main thing is you don't put the zip file in the destination that we're looking for. All you want is the ANI file. So now I've got the ANI file. I'll right click, I'll copy it or cut it, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to my documents folder. I want to find the OpenTrack -2.3 folder. And now I'm going to paste. And I've already got one in there, so I'm going to skip that. I don't need to do that, but I need you to know where to do it. You can go back to OpenTrack, go to your profiles, just click right on the name right there, and now we can select ATS. Now when we hit start, you see we've got much more movement. I can look up, I can look down at the floor, look over in the seat. There's my kitty cat sitting over there. He's my shotgun. Now another important thing, one of the first things you need to do on your shortcuts is you need to set up a shortcut for the center button. And I'll show you why. You get in the game. Okay, you can see I'm looking, well, that's pretty good, but let's say I get cattywampus. Okay, I'm looking straight ahead, but obviously the octopus is not looking straight ahead. And I need, how did I do this? What happened? It doesn't work right. You have to map it, your center key. This is the most important shortcut that you'll have. So once you map that, you hit that, you look straight ahead, center of the screen, and then center. Now I'm back where I need to be. And click OK. Also, you'll want to calibrate. So we'll go here under point tracker settings. Don't want to go too fast. Point tracker, the little hammer. Then we'll go up here to the model tab. We'll make sure these say 40, 40, 75, and 75. And that it's a clip. Now we're going to start calibration. And when you calibrate, you just turn your head left and right several times, then up and down several times, and then just click stop calibration. It says it got 84 samples. Anything over 430 is good. So now we're calibrated. Now, if you move your camera, if you reposition it or whatever, that's going to change your calibration. You'll want to do that. You can see there's nothing to it. But we're done. I mean, that's it. for most of your games, you just start them and it's going to automatically detect. For American Truck Simulator, European Truck Simulator 2, let's look at the list. So, Flight Simulator 2020, IL2, Assetto Corsa, X-Plane 11, no. In X-Plane 11, you'll have to enable it from within the game. And it's not under controls, it's under graphics actually. If you accidentally overwrite your default file, we've even got that here, so you can download that. And if you overwrite your default and you want to get it back. The thing about profiles, I know we've only got 3, 6, 7, 8 if you count the default files here. ATS isn't specific to ATS. Profiles can be one size fits many. It's not one size fits all, but one size fits many. For example, the ATS profile would probably work well in Flight Sim 2020, but the profile for Flight Sim 2020 may not be great for IL2 Sturmovik and vice versa. IL2 Sturmovik and DCS, those two profiles are probably interchangeable for the most part. But X-Plane 11 and Flight Sim 2020 have their own, and American Truck Simulator have their own special profiles because of the collision boxes. And I'll explain that in another video. Okay, let's fire up the old Truck Simulator. There's the Grass Monkey truck. What a lovely truck. Built by John Ruda. You can find him on Facebook. If you want to purchase this truck, it is payware. He's under Produced by John Ruda, I think is his Facebook name. Produced by John Ruda. I did the paint job. I repainted it myself. I'm sure John would say thank you for telling people that, because he wouldn't want them to know that he put out a paint job like that. But I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome. All right, let's jump right in. All right, I've got a controller here. I've got my center. I've got my sim chair here, but because I'm making a video, I've got this chair. So now with my ATS profile, as you can see, now you could see that I stopped there, but it wasn't abrupt. Same thing for leaning forward. I'll stop, but it's not like I'm smashing my face against an invisible wall. I can look up over the hood, and I don't bounce off the roof like I would if I used a default. I can look out the back, look in the back. There's Mr. Kitty. All right. Do we have a load on there? No. Now let's just go for a drive anyway. Yep, no job. I guess I could have. Let's try this. We'll just back up to the entrance. Yeah, that'd be a nice trip. I will have these, the shifter extension I have on this TH8A. It may be for sale by the time you see this video, but we'll be selling those. It's a slip-on, no tools required unless you have an SKRS type shifter, and it will be slip-on as well, but it also has set screws. But if you have one, then you've also got the Allen wrench that you need to secure it. And that's the awesome thing about a head tracker is I'm off. I think they'll still load me. Yeah, I'm off a little bit. But you can back up in the truck and it just feels natural. You know, you don't have to use your mouse to back in. That's not too bad. I've done worse. If you notice my point of view, how close I am to the windshield and the steering wheel, it's because that's natural. That's what it would look like if you were sitting in the driver's seat. What most people, if you're in play ATS, what you're used to seeing is most likely more like this. And if you don't have head tracking, this is fine because your field of view is limited. You may want to see your mirrors without having to use the cheat mirrors. But if you've got a head tracker, you don't want this view. It feels like I'm driving from the sleeper. And yeah, it's like looking out of a fishbowl. That's terrible. So all you have to do to make it a more natural is just lower your field of view. Now, I started at 56 and I rode with that for a long time. And then I went down to like 46 or lower. And I did that for quite a while, but I've pretty much settled now on 50 degrees. That feels very natural to me. You know, I have to turn my head a little bit to check my mirrors, but you know, I can still see out to check my load, and it makes everything bigger as well. You know, lowering your field of view, I don't have to lean in to check my gauges. I can just see the gauges without having to lean in, whereas if I was far back from the wheel. Okay, let's get out of here. Thank you so much if you were able to hang around this long. I'm going to try to put out more videos soon. This one's been a long time overdue. Just because I'm terrified of the camera. That's all there is. And working up to this, I have even started a Twitch channel to try to acclimate myself to being in front of a camera. But I don't know if I'd call it a phobia, but yeah, I'm terrified of a camera, I guess. So that pretty much qualifies as a phobia, doesn't it? But we're going to have more videos soon, and hopefully we'll have better content. And not all of it's going to be educational. Some of it's just going to be fun. But the main purpose of this video was to hopefully be helpful to you in setting up your OpenTrack with the puck. But the directions, the PDF guide that you can download, that will give you all the information that you need. But some people, I'd say including myself, like to have a video guide. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.